what's up, guys? Today we're going to be vertical jigging for black sea bass and bluefish using a Shimano Colt Sniper Jig. This technique is extremely effective for a variety of fish. It's really effective for black sea bass, and I prefer it over bait fishing. If you were using squid, for example, it's very messy, takes a lot of time to put bait on and off the hooks, and you're going to get a lot of bycatch like sand sharks and skates and sea robins. So with these jigs, it's more active, it's more fun, and I think more effective. And here is a beautiful big black sea bass. And we're going to get some big sea bass here. We're going to do a full 3-man limit of black sea bass. So again, we're using a Shimano Colt Sniper. This is an 80-gram jig. We're fishing in 50 to 100 feet of water. The only modification I make to the jig is I immediately take the treble hook off, I throw that away, and I run a 2.0 or 3.0 VMC inline hook. This is going to make unhooking fish much easier. You'll see me use my de-hooking tool, and we're getting a lot of bluefish and short sea bass. It's better for the fish and the fishermen. I highly recommend switching out to the inline hooks. The tackle, we're using a little bit heavier tackle by some standards, and it's because of the amount of bluefish. Now, you can use the light tackle. You could use a Shimano Stratic with 15-pound braid and a G. Loomis ESX inshore rod. That would be great for this, but you're going to lose a lot of tackle. The thinner braid would cut the water better, but I'm using my medium-heavy setups because of the amount of bluefish. So that's a Shimano Saragossa 6000. It's spooled with 50-pound Power Pro Super Slick. That's why we're not getting broke off here. And a 60-pound mono leader. And the rod is the G. Loomis 844 SMF. This is the same rod I use for a lot of my striped bass fishing. I am using a clip. You could tie direct, but I'm using the Breakaway 80-pound clip. It just helps me change lures, and if I have to go down or up in the jig size, it's a lot easier than retying. The technique we're using, this is called yo-yoing sometimes, because it's similar to how you would use a yo-yo, in that you're starting at the water with the rod tip, snapping it up, and letting the jig fall on a semi-tight line. So 2/3 of your bites are going to come as that jig is fluttering back down. So I do want to let the jig free fall and have that flutter action. But what I don't want to do, and this is a big mistake, is people drop the rod tip too quickly and put slack in the line. And if you're doing that, you're going to miss most of your bites. So what I do is I let the rod tip fall at the same speed as the jig. So if I feel any little tap or I feel that jig stop falling, I can set the hook immediately. Again, this is why we use braided line, so we could feel those little bites and the little taps on the way down. A lot of your hits are going to come on that as that jig is falling. This, again, it's super effective because we're fishing in 50 to 100 feet of water. We could keep that jig down near the bottom. And there's a lot of small bait down there. And I think these jigs work particularly well in the fall when you have a lot of small bait. So these sea bass and bluefish are spitting up juvenile butterfish, juvenile silver sides, and actually we had a few spit up needlefish. So there is a plethora of bait down there. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of this video. If you haven't already subscribed, please make sure to subscribe and help support my channel.
past probably another 500 bluefish on the way up. Yeah, exactly. They're competitive, you know? Sea robins, you catch skate, right? You get conners and porgies. Like, you don't really get that stuff on the jig so much.